I tried one thing, then another, and finally I came to realize I didn't need another diet. I needed peace. I had lost my daily rhythm, and every night felt like a battle, and there was no winning night after night and day after day. I didn't realize how much I was reaching for food to feel grounded until it affected my health and my size dangerously, and I couldn't ignore it anymore. If your days feel more like survival mode than living, I want you to know I've been there too. And I'm going to walk you through what helped me finally get out of that and how it changed more than just my eating. There was this time I was in the grocery store and I'd done my shopping. I was very much a list person. I'd make my menu. From my menu, I made my list and I didn't buy from my list. And this day, I wondered and I found myself in exactly the wrong place. I was scanning, I was looking for my favorite. And then that little nudge inside me said, "What are you doing? You should not be here." And I realized I was standing right in front of the ice cream section, my toughest go to resist. And I thought to myself, why am I here? This isn't on my list. It hasn't been on my list for a long time. How did I get here? And then it hit me. Maybe something's going on. Maybe I need to think about what it is that's going on. So I paused. I pulled out my phone, which has my journal in it, and I started typing away like crazy, trying to get to the bottom of what was going on. And then I realized I was reacting to stress. Something stressful had been going on at home, and that's what landed me there. And just realizing it and naming it helped me to choose differently. And so I finished journaling. I said a prayer. I walked away with a heavy heart, feeling a little bit perplexed still. Then I got about 10 steps away and I was like, hey, you did it. I lifted my head, I squared my shoulders, and I was like, good for you. That moment changed something in me because I didn't just walk away from the ice cream, I faced the pattern. And that one little choice brought me peace that I never expected and I hadn't felt in a really long time. Having said that, here are three peace giving habits that I built and still rely on to this day. And I know they'll help you too. You guys know this one. I journal, I journal, I journal, I journal. As I'm walking, I will dictate into my phone. As I'm doing the dishes, I dictate into my phone. As anything comes up in my mind, I just journal. I don't journal with purpose. I don't journal with a specific goal in mind. I don't do it because I have to journal my gratitude. I just let whatever's inside spill out. Even the hardest days, the I want to give up days, I let it all fall out of me like milk pouring from a pitcher. Not only does it bring me peace, but it helps me breathe. It gives me this internal space and lightness. The second thing I do, I love, is my walk. Now, this is a funny one because it's one I didn't want to do. For months, my son had been saying to me, Mom, come on, you need to get healthy. Let's go for a walk. And I said, honey, I can't walk. I can't walk 15 feet without losing my breath. I can't go for a walk. And he asked me night after night after night. And literally, just to quiet him, I finally gave in and went with him one night. And so I got up. I said, fine, let's go. I didn't expect much except to get out of breath. And I did not expect that it would be a turning point. So we walked. We walked 2 blocks, just two. And I was so out of breath by that time. I was panting. I was sweating. There was a bus stop. And I sat at the bus stop and caught my breath. Took me 5, 10 minutes. I don't know. I wasn't timing it, but it took me quite a while. I caught my breath. I got up and I walked home. And when I got home, I sat down, sweaty, tired, frustrated still. And then I thought, oh my goodness, I just walked 2 blocks. I did it. And then something inside me clicked. Not in a loud hurrah way, not in this booming way, but this little voice that said, hey, maybe you can keep doing it. Maybe tomorrow go again. And if you go tomorrow, maybe the next day. And so I did, one walk at a time, every evening. And I started rebuilding. And eventually, I got to where I walk every night with energy, with happiness, and I can go quite the distance. And I love it. It's my refreshing time, it's my peaceful time. And what it gave me, not just my body, but what it gave me was trust in myself again. Now, the third thing I do might sound a little silly to you, but it works. I made a plan. I realized that when I sat down, I was always using it as an opportunity to snack. I was always sitting and thinking, what can I have next? So I came up with a plan, and the plan was to keep my hands busy. And if my hands were busy and my head was busy thinking about what my hands were doing, I wasn't as likely to think about what I wasn't having. Some of the things I loved were crocheting. I crocheted and crocheted and crocheted for many months until my kids were like, Mom, please, no more blankets. Please, a new hobby. So I did. And for a long time, I did adult coloring. Now, I know it sounds like coloring, but it's a thing, like seriously a thing. You can layer, you can blend, you can make beautiful edges, you can make things glow. It is something that really is enjoyable once you get into it. And I still have my coloring books. I still have my way too many pencils. And sometimes I go back to it just because it's that fun. Then there's my writing. There's journaling that I told you about, but I write. I write like there's no tomorrow. I write poetry. I write short stories. I write a devotional. I'm writing a novel. I just love to write. I don't know what it is. It just brings out this peace in me. It brings my head to another space. And I love painting pictures with words and being able to feel in that moment and get there and think that maybe someday if someone read it, they'd feel the same way. Then there's my favorite go to when I feel like snacking because it takes up a lot of mental real estate. You don't have a lot of room left for thinking when you're learning a new language. Languages are mind consuming. When you start out, it's hard, it's frustrating, you kind of stumble over the words, you think, oh, I'm never going to learn this. But then, ding, 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 as you're going through your day, you're thinking, oh, I know that word in French. Oh, I know that word in Italian. I know that word in Greek. I know that word in Turkish. And as I'm doing things, it's like I say a word in my head, it goes boom, 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 from one language to the other. I'm not fluent in all of those languages by any means, but a couple of them I am. And it is just to me a way to occupy my mind in the best way. By the way, if you want ideas for some of the apps or some of the coloring books and pencil crayons I use, let me know down below and I'll send you the information. I'm happy to share. So, I want to say if you're trying to break the same cycle I was in, you're not alone at all. There's a lot of us here. And there is a way back to yourself. It doesn't have to be loud, it doesn't have to be perfect, and it certainly doesn't have to be dramatic. One thing I've learned is that peace doesn't arrive all at once, it's built slowly. It's something you determine to do, and you get through your minutes, you get through your days, but you do it little by little. And that peace is waiting for you too. Just stay with it. You're not broken for not feeling whole. You are just getting there slowly, just the way I did. If anything in this video has resonated with you, kindly give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Let me know what works for you, what hobbies you do, what you do to get yourself through the harder moments. I'd love to hear it. I'd love your ideas. And if something struck a spark in you, let me know. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and come back for more because you know I always have more.